Hey, it's me. I am uploading. It feels like it's been forever, and I don't really know why. It was like I took a lot longer to get to this than the previous rounds of the tournament, but I recorded those at the same time, and basically I recorded semis and finals, and then I looked back and I decided this is pretty shit commentary, and even though I do this just completely for fun, I can't post it. I'm not gonna post this. I'm gonna redo it, and then that took forever. So here I finally am. Gonna try to see if I still remember the games. Really quickly, first is gonna be semifinals versus Miyoka, but I'm gonna combine this with the first set of finals, which is versus CrazyStevy. Just because they're both kind of short series with basically the same message. If you look at this matchup, I just really don't have to be scared of anything he has other than Marowak. Marowak can wall break. It has to win maybe a 50-50 or two with Altaria running around, but he really can't switch an offensive Altaria whatsoever. Raichu also puts an enormous amount of pressure on him. And really, the whole point of my series with me versus Miyoka is just kind of the power of matchup. And not just matchup, but he's using a team that just looks a little old, a little outdated. Like, this looks like around when Combuskin... Well, not when Combuskin first dropped. Maybe when, Muck or Quagsire was first banned, and then everyone's like, let's see what Combuskin can do. This looks like a Quagsire meta team, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to go Raichu on the Rotom. Rotom just kind of suffers right now. Not Rotom Frost. Rotom Frost is amazing, but Rotom Fan, just because it really can't hit electrics too well, and that's huge. It can't hit a lot of stuff too well. But I'm just going to sack Raichu because it helps me with Marowak, because now Marowak's not really a big issue, and I can get alt-right in, and alt-right. I'm going to go directly into the alt-right. I think I'm actually recording this on the day that Le Pen lost the election, so the alt-right is actually going out. But anyway, Altaria is just going to do some things and stuff, because honestly his team is just not really prepped for stuff. To me, it just seems a little old, and I want to have these games out just because completion's sake. That's the best way I can put it. I've been recording this whole tour. I wanna show off them games, and this isn't a terrible series. I think the point I'm trying to get across is that definitely his old team's kind of struggled. He's gonna Swords Dance, but unfortunately I'm T-Wave Clef, so this is going absolutely nowhere. I can just go right to Maul, and I'll skip a few turns because I Iron Head and he flinches, and then I Iron Head and he knocks off, then Iron Head and he flinches. At this point, he disconnected, and I was like, it's fine, I'll just wait for him, and then he sent me a message on Discord, just I can't get on, but I'm losing the game anyway, just turn timer back on and take the win. I was like, yeah, this is pretty much over. Game 2 was going to be even shorter. I'm not going to even... If you look at matchup, he has no fire resists, and I have fire spam webs, which is an amazing team that I built. It's fantastic. It works great in this meta, I promise, I swear. His fire resist was basically Stun Fist, which I'm immediately going to nasty pawn on because I know he wants Stealth Rock. This team's just kind of silly. It's a silly little Webs team I made. It's like Webs offense, sort of. I don't really know what I was going for, but I just thought Webs fire spam would be funny. And then, I'll be honest, I did look at some of Miyoka's replays, and I noticed that he didn't run fire resist. I'm like, hey, remember that Webs fire spam team that you used? This would be pretty good. And I just happened to get the team of his that looked the most weak to this team, and I'm like, sure, you know what, let's pull it out if I win game 1. And this just sort of well, it doesn't go too well. I don't even bother setting webs. I'm just gonna weaken Duskar because at this point it's turn 10 and Monferno has already won. I actually go to Leavanny first. I don't know why. I could have just gone directly into Monferno there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he's got some cool stuff, but again, it's just a bit of an old team, and I had to godlike matchup. Like, Chadot's kind of useless, but Ice Beam, physical-based float, he can't really switch into, and both the fires just put a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, this was not going to go very, very far at all. But yeah, Fire Spam Webs is just a funny little team. I might put in the description of this or like the next one with the other part of finals. I don't know. Don't expect it to be good, but it's hard to have more fun than playing with Fire Spam Webs. I think the idea was like Webs is kind of funny, but then a lot of people are using like Altaria, Bronzor, Balance Cores, and whatever. So what if we just spammed Fire types with HP Ice Ninetales plus Monferno? And then this team became a thing from that. I don't know. I really don't know. So that's semis, and then I'll just move right into finals set 1. This is a 3-way finals, so I have to beat both CrazyStevy and Slowbroth. And I'll do the set versus CrazyStevy in this video because, well, you know, I won't spoil it. I assume most people on my channel are like in some way connected to PU and know the outcome, but if you're not, that would also make sense. Anyway, I bring this team. I've been bringing a lot in the tour. It's Baton Pass to Floatzel. It does really nicely. Unfortunately, he brings Band Golem, which is definitely one of the bigger threats to this team. In fact, so big that I put Grassnall on Clefairy, which is by no means a great stop, and this team definitely has flaws. Aside from that, I think this team is really pretty solid, but the Band Golem matchup is pretty obnoxious. Golem is just an amazing mon right now. I don't think it's S rank worthy, but it's certainly one of the most dominating presences in PU just purely because sturdy is and now as far as win conditions go, Baton passing +2 to an Adamant Scar Floatzel is pretty good because he has no water resists. He has Golem, Probopass, no water resists, which just blows my mind. But Ninjask's gonna be pretty annoying in that I have resists, but it can U-turn to things like Banded Golem and Zebstrika, which I don't switch in too well to, and it stops Nasty Plot Raichu, which is unfortunate. Poniard is also going to be checked pretty hard by like most of his team, so that's not going to be able to do too much, but really all I want rocks. I want to start off with offensive presence. I want to see if Raichu can break him. It's hard to really come up with a game plan other than try to Baton Pass the Floatzel, which can win as soon as I weaken Vibrava, break the Golem and maybe the Probopasses, but unlikely the Probopass is sturdy, and weaken the Clefairy a bit. And then Floatzel will win, so I'm going to try to do that. Now, unfortunately, this game the reason I can't really go over game plan is that turn 1, he's going to get a critical hit and Oko my Clefairy with Stone Edge. I had been 100% okay. Clefairy would have taken about 90%, and then I would have Grass Knotted and put him down to Sturdy. And to me, this was like the ideal trade. If I can get this, yes please, I would love to take the Golem down to Sturdy. Then I would have gone directly into Mawile and the Banded Stone Edge. We would have had a grand old time. But I don't, and that's going to make it a hell of a lot harder to take this team on. Like, there's no two ways about it. CrazyStevy definitely sort of threw a monkey wrench in the works. I'm going to go right to Poniard and Swords Dance because I figure 1, he's probably going Pro Pass, and 2, if I can flinch him, then I can basically Revenge Hacks my way into a pretty solid counter position. I don't flinch him. I didn't see a reason to really preserve Pawn past this just because he has no reason to weaken Pro Pass. He can just switch it directly into Poniard, that's it. He has no reason to weaken Pro Pass beforehand. I didn't even think that, I wasn't even sure that he'd switch it right into Poniard in case I knocked off and then, you know, and then later he might not be able to switch into it too hard. But I am going to sack Pawn to then weaken Vibrava because that is now not a Floatzel check, but I still have to weaken Clefairy and get Golem Sturdy broken, which he doesn't have to send out Golem at all. It's a perfect thing to have in the back, especially since Clefairy was rocks, so I can't break that. And I have to somehow pass it +2. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get Altaria in, Draco right into the Clef, and then somehow I get Raichu in on Vibrava with some weird doubles. Like, I don't know. He was predicting something, and it didn't. He was predicting Mawile to come in on Clefairy. The point is I'm going to Focus Blast Clefairy, then get up a Nasty Plot, as he sort of just has to sack Vibrava for safety's sake, and then get in Ninjask, which does kill me at this percent. Banned Ninjask, honestly, is another mon that suffers a lot in this meta. I don't think Volturn is particularly good. It has a really hard, annoying matchup versus balance, but Banned Ninjask plus Banned Golem is pretty strong, and versus offense, which is just a bit less common, it can be pretty dominating. So he's going to get into Zebstrika on my Altaria, and I decide, I got to play around this now. So I'm going to go Mawile, and then I'm going to double into Raichu on the T-Bolt, and then... No, I just stay in and Focus Blast, because that's just playing it what I consider to be pretty safe. And I do need the chip on Clefairy. The problem is I also need Sturdy Broken, which is pretty hard to do. I am just going to T-Bolt as he knocks off, which is fair. And then here I make a weird play. If I Focus Blast, it did 19% last time, and I had a Life Orb, so it's definitely no roll. If I Focus Blast and he goes for Soft Boiled, I'm kind of screwed, because I can't weaken this Clefairy anymore. Like, Raichu is my mon to weaken Clefairy. He's obviously not leaving it on Mawile, and then it can beat Altaria and Floatzel 1v1 no problems. But, on the other hand, if I T-Bolt and he goes into Zebstrika, then I'm just kind of screwed. And I thought about it for a long time, and I was like, I don't want to lose the 50-50. I think I still have a chance here, because Scarf Float, on its own even, as soon as Golem Sturdy is broken, Scarf Float has a very good chance of winning. I don't want to risk losing this 50-50, so what I'm going to do is click Encore, because if he stays in, then he's going to just have to knock off, then he won't recover, and if he goes Zebstrika, he's not going to get the special attack boost, and I can deal with him. In hindsight, I still don't even know about that play, but I really did not want to lose the 50-50. So I'm going to go Mawile on the Zebstrika. He could have overheated, would have done a ton, but I'm assuming he doesn't, and I'm going to Iron Head because I was fairly certain he would go Golem, and boom, Sturdy is broken. And now, this is where it gets a little complicated. So Adamant Scarf Floatzel can't kill Zebstrika from this range. If he gets one more Life Orb hit, it's a roll. If he gets two more Life Orb hits, then I definitely kill him. One more Life Orb hit, pretty easy to accomplish. Two is going to be a little wonky, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Ninjask does take a hit, but it can't kill me. And I am faster, so it's not like he can U-turn out and go into something else. So my plans right here is, one, I need Zebstrika to take a Life Orb hit, and two, I can't let him save Golem for the Banned Sucker Punch, because Banded Sucker Punch plus Ninjask's hit will kill Floatzel. So what I'm going to do is, rather than risk any kind of 50-50 or something by going out to Altaria, is I'm just going to basically let Mawile die, go right to Floatzel, hope he sacrifices Golem, hope he goes to Zebstrika, because that would make sense. Why would he not go to Zebstrika? And if he goes Ninjask or anything else, I'm fine. Basically, he'll be forced to go to Zebstrika on Floatzel, at which point I sack Altaria for the Life Orb hit. Hopefully two if he T-Bolts and I live that. And then either way, I go back to Floatzel and I can maybe win, as long as he leaves his Golem in after it kills Mawile. Having said all that, well, let's see how this pans out. Well, he's going to Stone Edge, I Swords Dance just because why not? And then he misses a Stone Edge, which is, I guess, a bit of a revenge for the first turn of that game, if you know what I mean. But what that's going to mean is I automatically win. After all that, like, I thought super hard on that turn and on the turn where I was like, do I do the Raichu 50-50? And then in the end, I just dodge a Stone Edge, get the baton pass, and win. So, oopsie doopsie. And as you can see, Banded Golem is super strong half. If you didn't see my previous videos, this team is built around Swords Dance, Baton Pass, Mawile to Adamant Scarf Floatzel, and a team with no water resists, it just is ill-equipped to handle that. It does take a little luck for me to pass it, but you know what, after turn 1 I will definitely take that. Now, going into Game 2 versus CrazyStevy. He has brought Trick Room to pretty much every round of the tournament. I don't think Trick Room is amazing, but what it does have is matchup. And I looked through my teams prior to needing to play CrazyStevy, and I'm like, I really don't have a good matchup with a lot of my stuff, because what do I use? I use offense. If he was playing someone like Teddy or Raw Melon, they probably... I think he actually hacks Raw Melon pretty bad. Yeah, he hacks Raw Melon with Trick Room. The point is, like, they didn't really have to think twice about that because they use a lot of slower stuff that's just more generally equipped to handle Trick Room. I like using offense. I know it's going to be a problem. So what I did was, rather than build a new team, I went on the lower tier Premier League, or LTPL, team dump thread, looked around for something that I knew would have a good matchup, found this team by Anti, which was pretty good back then, like a unique, novel offense using stuff that you don't see too much, like Basculin and Driftblim was incredibly popular. AV Boof is an interesting pick, just using a lot of interesting stuff. And I noticed it would do pretty well against this Trick Room, so I just stole it and brought it, and we're just going to see how matchup in Mons. Gourgeist is pretty annoying for the team. A lot of the team just can't break it too well. It relies on Gourgeist being their main water resist so that Basculin can Ice Beam it. However, in this case, it's not Synthesis, so I don't have to worry too much about that. I assume he Wisped because he didn't want to Seed Bomb into a Bouffalont, but, like, that'd be pretty safe because he could just Wisp the turn after that. Anyway, the point is, I'm willing to let Basculin die to weaken Gourgeist, but he ends up letting Gourgeist die anyway. I just need that early 50%, as I can sack Basculin on the Marowak, and Marowak is definitely like his biggest threat, but as long as I can just go straight into the full health Leafeon, that's completely fine. Behem comes out, it takes a lot from Leaf Blade, and if I do another one, he will die to Life Orb after that, but I don't really want to let Leafeon get weakened, because Marowak would be a bigger threat, so I'm going to go to Driftblim, and he goes Carbink, with a very good double, expecting, I'm not sure what, perhaps Mr. Mime, so that he can set up Brox and Trick Room on, he just didn't expect me to leave in Leafeon, which is good play. Unfortunately for him, one of the reasons I chose this team as a good Trick Room matchup is because his Carbink set is Magic Coat, Stealth Rock, Explosion, and Trick Room. I assume, anyway. I don't know if I've actually seen all those moves, but that's like the only thing Carbink runs as a Trick Room setter. And I just hit the reset button by accident. Ignore that. The point is, if I don't hit the reset button by accident because I'm a terrible YouTuber, the point is that I have Driftblim, which is running a substitute set, and Carbink can't touch sub-ghosts, which means that every time I get Driftblim on Carbink, I just get some nice free momentum. So he does go immediately into Marowak, just being afraid of that, I guess. And I am going to go for the knockoff and then the burn, because I know without his Thick Club and burned, I can take his knockoff pretty handily, get the unburden, and because he can't go into Carbink, I can either force him to lose Kadabra Sash or take damage with Camera Up so that anything else I have, like Mr. Mime or Bouffalont, can just kill it straight off the bat. And I don't worry about saving Driftblim. It is good for Carbink, but at this point, I just don't need it. Like, it is simply not necessary. I can go right into Golem. Which is, I think, from Anti's team was Toxic Spadef. I changed it to Sucker Punch because this team has 2 Psychics, so I figured that would be more useful. I don't Sucker Punch here, though, because I thought he might Trick Room or something. I don't even know if the Kadabra is Trick Room, but I'm pretty sure it is. The point is just this matchup is pretty donger, and that's basically just going to be the game. Like, he's going to go Carbink, try to Trick Room, but Behem can't get through, let me clarify, 50% Behem, which is Life Orb and without recovery, is not going to be getting through Assault Vest, Bouffalont, and the Scarf Mr. Mime. Although really, it's not Assault Vest anymore, because honestly, Sub SD is just a ton of fun. And this Spadef Sword Stance Rest Talk, which is just a dumb set. I mean, it's not, I just think, oh no, this is Sub-S. This is SD Bouffalont. Never mind, Anti's not bad. Anyway, I'm just not a huge fan of that set. I think Ursaring does the whole thing much better, because Bulk Up just gives the defense boosts that Bouffalont lacks, even if it has better initial bulk and the grass immunity. Anyway, those are going to be the semifinals and the final series. I thought they were alright series, and I did want to get them out, but if this is the first time you're tuning in, I highly recommend you check out the first 3 videos from this tournament that I posted, because I do think the series were, they definitely just came more down to the wire. in some pretty intense fashions. And then tune in next time for the final series versus Slowbroth. I will tell you right now, at the point when I played Slowbroth, I beat Stevie, and then later Slowbroth beat Stevie. So this is going to be it, the real finals for all the marbles. Stay tuned and see you next time. Like, I'm not going to waste my time trying to hype this up when I bet most people know the outcome, but, you know, that's YouTube for you, so why don't you go ahead and smash that like button, give me the subscribe. Okay, fuck it, I'm out.